Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 205. So I'm going to let you guys know now. I am very sorry for forgetting to put in the super cute cat content at the end of my Show and Tell 2 weeks ago. It totally slipped my mind to make sure that I put those in there. I will double and triple check to make sure that I put it in today. After that, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. If you are here in the U.S., I hope you are surrounded by some really good food and some friends and family today. I am filming this on Tuesday because I will be cooking dinner for my family. We're doing a late dinner on Thursday, so I theoretically could have maybe filmed this on Thursday, but I really didn't want to put myself in that position. Let's be honest. It's already been enough of a kerfuffle with the relocation and everything. The last thing I need. Anyway, it's been an adventurous week, 2 weeks now. I've had some weird content. As we're moving into the Christmas season, I've had a number of companies reaching out asking if I would share products with you, and some of them yes, some of them no. So we do have one more, I think, that is on its way now. We will probably discuss them more during Vlogmas as they kind of fit more into my Vlogmas content. But we've also had some product reviews with the Premier Poppy yarn as well as the Premier Painterly yarn. That was up on Tuesday this week. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in knowing how the Premier Painterly crocheted and what my thought was as far as using this effectively as a crocheter. But as we're talking about that, let me talk to you about the drama of trying to make this project. So hopefully in that video, I shared the video of the project that I started with. If not, hopefully it'll be in this video. If not, I accidentally deleted it or something. But anyway, I started off making a shawl with this, and it just was not turning out great. And it was not the yarn's fault. This was just like the shape of the shawl was just not coming together. I didn't like the way it looked. I had put 1.5 balls of this yarn into this shawl and just did not like it. So I decided to frog it, and I was like, oh, you know, all I really want to do is showcase how this looks in single crochet, double crochet, and treble crochet. And I was like, okay, why don't I just make a scarf, and I can go from single crochets into treble crochets and then treble back out to singles. So I start a scarf. I just was winging it, so I didn't really think about it, but I was aiming for something around 6 feet, 6 feet long. That way more people could get it if I donated it. And I was like, well, maybe I'll have enough for a hat or an ear warmer or something like I did with the poppy. Well, you see, what had happened was I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up making a 7-foot scarf. And by that point, I was already like 2 balls into the base scarf for this. And I was like, there is no way I am frogging this completely again. I'll either just have a 7-foot scarf or I'll come up with something else. Maybe it'll be a shawl wrap or something. Because, I mean, that wouldn't be a horrible length for a shawl wrap if you're a little on the buxom side. Well, I was sitting there thinking, okay, what else could I do with this? And I literally threw it over my head and was like, hey, you know, that's really not that bad. Why don't we turn this into a hooded scarf? So I winged it and made a hooded scarf. I once again took lemons and made lemonade. We shall be creative when we do not want to frog. So anyway, I do have some finished objects. Most of these, if you've been watching the review videos, you will have already seen these. However, I did want to share the drama of making this. This was not from a pattern. This is something I just kind of did on my own. I do like the way this turned out, and particularly as I did the back of the hood, adding this panel in 100% freehand, doing my own thing. So it's 100% seamless the way I did this. There was nothing in this that needed to be cut or anything else. I got a nice gradation and depth to the hood. I did have to go a little bit further than I wanted to as far as creating the short row decreasing that we have here. which did make the hood deeper, which actually for me, as I wear my hair up a lot of times, or I have something back here, like holding my bangs back or something, the depth is actually really good for me. So it's not a bad thing, but I really wanted to make sure in the back here, this was going to hook around my neck and not be pulling everything back on my neck. I really wanted to make this wide so the scarf fell forward instead of having it, see where that falls forward? Instead of as with the half circle shawl, it's not a make or break thing for a project. It's just one of those, to me, it makes a difference because it makes it just a little bit better. It makes it a little bit more wearable. So in having that come so far out, it'll crest around the shoulder. So it keeps everything tight up under your coat at the back of your neck. It keeps the length here in the front, but doesn't pull it back where it's going to start choking you, or pull it forward where it's going to fall off. So it's a nice, I could have stood to maybe go a little bit longer maybe, but then you would be running into it, like hitting your shoulders and bunching up, which means the hood wouldn't stay on the head. It would just like fall backwards. So anyway, I did actually put a lot of thought into this. I did write down what I did as I was just winging it. So hopefully here in the next year, I will come up with a written pattern. This would definitely have to be a written pattern, not a tutorial only thing, as there's a lot that goes into how I did the back of the hood. The scarf is very basic though. So because of the way I did the neckline and everything, once you have it on, your ends flown back across you can very easily take the hood on and off. It does give you a really nice depth. So I did write it down. We will probably see some more of these as I do some test runs and figure out like what I think about it. Do I think this is really a way like other people would want to do this? Is this going to work for other people? But I am very happy with how I turned lemons into lemonade on this one, because the last thing I wanted to do was frog it out a third time and find something else that would showcase the multiple stitches. Now in the final design, as for the purpose of designing a hooded scarf, I don't need to have this stitch pattern as the scarf. I'll probably do something a little bit more interesting, but I do want to play with that hood design in a couple of other, anyway. So we do have that as a finished object. Let's set my whip to the side here because I do not want to knock that over and lose it. We do have some more scrap squares that I still need to weave in the ends on so I don't frustrate myself when I go to join blankets again. We have, this is a 10 round granny square. It's 8 in the center, 2 on the outside. And this is just these open skeins that I found after we moved and I was shelving all my yarn. So it's just worsted weight, scrap yarn, worsted weight, open skeins. And I use a size I hook for these. For the corner to corners, these are, once again, size I hook and 10 row corner to corner squares. So I got a whole bunch of blankets joined. I did donate 9 blankets last week. So 9 of them are out the door. I still need to weave in the ends on some hats and scarves, but I did also donate 17 hats and 17 scarves. So I'm very excited to have those out of the house. They're gone. They're gone. They have left to find their future homes. So we have another granny square, another scrappy corner to corner, and then we have another granny square. So very happy with that. Once again, one less thing to worry about. Things getting out of my stash, things not piling up around me. I do have a lot of blankets though that I keep trying to work on, and I keep frustrating myself because I don't feel like I'm making progress, because it's like I'll work on one for a week, put it away, work on a different one for a week, put it away, work on a different one for a week. So eventually, once again, we're going to have another whole like group of blankets that end up getting finished. And they're like the 3 main ones I have right now that I've been working on are actually for me, for my house. One, we'll talk about here in a minute. Two is actually kind of more for my husband on the sofa, for a generic blanket on the sofa. And that's that blue and gray one that I've been working on in the lemon peel stitch. And then I have my hexagon blanket that I really wanted for a napping blanket that I got like halfway through and never touched again. I'm one of these people that will start a blanket and then like it'll take me 5 years to finish it just because it takes so long to finish a blanket. Anyway. Other finished objects. If you did not check out my review of the Premier Poppy yarn last week, I did make a cowl, and this is the Cuello Princip. No, it's not Principale. Principante? No. Even after last week when I used the wrong words, like ignore my Spanish pronunciation, but I used the wrong words, called myself out on that, but I still forgot to write down the name of this. So this is based loosely on her pattern, and I'll leave it in the description box down below. This yarn is a super bulky, whereas the pattern is written for a bulky yarn. So I decreased the number of stitches in the cowl, and instead of doing 5-row repeats of the alternated stockinette and garter stitch, I did use 4. So I was trying to reduce the bulk of the scrunch just a little bit, since it is a size 6 yarn. My hair is going to be such a mess by the time I'm done filming today. Anyway. It's a little bit on the long side, and I think I just put it on. No, I didn't put it on upside down. I used the size 13 needle for the body and the second rib row. When I cast on, I used a size 11 to keep the top edge a little bit tighter than the bottom edge, because I like the bottom edge to kind of flare out just a little bit under my coat. But there is that. And there's a whole review on this yarn here on the channel. But I did enjoy this yarn. I love how this feels. It is super duper squishy. I am afraid, like, for me, it might be a little warm for my area just because it is so big. I made it so long. I have a short little neck. I have a short chunky neck. And doing that, I also had enough to make a knit ear warmer, which I will definitely be keeping this one 100% for me. I'm ready for my close-up. Seed stitch, and I use the W closure for the knot on this. Not that you can actually see that. And then I did a crocheted one, and this was using half double crochets, alternating each row, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. That way we created an entire faux ribbing effect on the ear warmer, and you can better see the knot on this one. I did a C, the double C knot where you interlock the 2 C's, and so that shut, and that gave a very flat knot compared to the knit one. I made the right choice when I made these, but I was actually thinking like this one would, because the seed stitch, I thought that was going to feel chunkier and read chunkier, so I really should have done the C on that one. And then I ended up choosing right by doing W on that one and C on this one, but that's whee. Yeah, so the last thing I have to share with you guys is the blanket I've been working on this week. And I know somewhere on here is a dangling square. So I did add, since y'all saw this last, 1.5 rows onto this blanket. So this is my ginormous DK weight scrap blanket that will be for my king size bed. Oh, and right now I can't really lay it out, which is unfortunate. Like there's nowhere I can lay it out to get a really good picture. But I did do 2.5 or 1.5 rows on this. And I'm in the middle of joining this square here, and then I have one more square on this row left to go. So I'm very, very excited. Actually, I'm joining this square. This is the one I'm joining. And then I need to join one here. So I'm loving how this is turning out. This is really, really pretty. but it is quite huge, as it is a ginormous king size blanket. And these are using DK and sport weight scraps, held double to make the corner to corner squares. The corner to corner squares are 14 rows using a size I hook. For joining, I'm using the Crafter Secret yarn from Hobby Lobby in the color Passport. And I'm actually joining with a size I hook. So when I used the J to join, the stitches felt too loose and I really didn't want to do a doubled up join. So I tested it using the I hook, and I actually really prefer the way this looks anyway. So I still have like 6 rows left to join, but I'm weaving in my ends as I go. Within every like 2 or 3 squares I join, I do stop and weave in the ends. That way I don't have all the ends to weave in at the end. So something to be said for that. Anyway, that is really all I have to show for the last 2 weeks. It has been so busy just trying to get the reviews that I wanted to get done, getting things prepared for Thanksgiving, trying to get my house back, you know, still trying to get that managed, regular management here. So yeah, and I'm also trying to get some, oh, I did have some Christmas cards I was going to share with you guys. I'll save this for next week. I am going to do everything I can to remember to make sure I put in the cat pictures at the end of this. Because like I said, the cats have been super cute recently. And I got some new pictures to share too. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving. Please take care of yourselves. I love you guys. And I'll see y'all real soon. And again, I forgot to prepare with my... Enjoy the post-video content, you guys.